Chapter 1. I stumbled out of the dilapidated tenement, drenched in a cold sweat. I tried my best to hold back the tears. Although everything felt dead to me, life naturally continued in the neighborhood, where faint music and conversations from apartments filled the air. Cars continued whizzing by, and old women hobbled across the street, carrying full bags of food from the market. They all seemed oblivious to the tragedy I'd just experienced. Nobody knew except for me. I continued walking and periodically wiped my face, trying to remain calm the entire time, but it seemed as if all the buildings around me would crumble and fall, crushing me under thousands of pounds of steel and brick. I didn't even care if it happened, to be honest with you. I just lost the only thing that had made me feel alive. The harsh, stinging wind cut through my black wool coat and suit, causing my legs to become numb. Felt as though my legs would freeze and break completely from my torso. I tried my hardest to be conscious of every step I took, so I could feel that my legs were still there, although it was difficult since my thoughts were racing to what had just transpired. My footsteps were heavy yet meaningless. The wait at the bus stop seemed like an unforgiving eternity, where I stood alone in a pale world. At one point, I saw the bus on the distant horizon. The city horizon ahead of me felt as though there were nothing else beyond it, and the bus magically appeared to me as a savior to take me away from everything. I took my place on the bus. An elderly lady sitting across the aisle from me seemed concerned and said, "Oh my, look at you. In this weather you'll catch a horrible cold walking around like that." I nodded slightly and continued staring ahead, acting indifferently because I didn't care. I didn't care if I would catch a cold or pneumonia. I didn't care what would happen to me anymore. I returned home and lay in bed, paralyzed, thinking of the events that led to this. I remembered the quote from Thoreau, "Things do not change. We change." For many years I fought against change, but change found me, fought me, and forced me to become a different man. My life up until recently was certainly nothing to write about. It was a never-ending cyclical routine of sorts. All my days were filled with nothing but mind-numbing tasks set on schedules and times and appointments. I had no hobbies. My job was standard, my home was adequate, my wife was uncaring and indifferent for the most part. Upon reading this, you may feel sorry for me for having such a dull life, but if you knew how it was that one small, insignificant thing had changed my whole life completely, you may think differently.